What is your take on other military spouses? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Emily and I just post vlog style videos, stuff about my dogs. That was great, Daisy, great timing. Okay, so this is just gonna be like a quick Q&A video. I asked you guys a few questions on my Instagram actually a while ago now, and I just screenshotted them, so I realized that I still had them on my phone. But yeah, I asked you guys a few questions about Andy's deployment. Andy's my husband, if you don't know, and anything else military related that you guys wanted to know. And I actually got a lot of questions, like more, not a lot, but like more than I thought I was going to. So yeah, if you don't follow me on my Instagram, here's my handle right there. Make sure you go follow me over there because I have tried to be pretty active with you guys, especially since Andy's gone. I kind of like to interact with you guys and just like get your guys' feedback on my videos and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Let me find my question. I'm not gonna say anybody's name because honestly I don't know if anybody wants their name said because I didn't ask that, so I'm just gonna play it safe and not say anybody's name. I will say her name because I know her. Hannah, she's somebody that we were living with before, but she said, question, how are you doing for real? Honestly, when people ask me how I'm doing, I kind of just want to bang my head on the wall. Like, that's how I'm doing. It really depends on the day that you ask me how I'm doing with Andy's deployment. Yeah, it really just depends on the day. Some days are really good and some days are really bad. Some days it feels like it's really gone by fast. Some days it has felt like it hasn't gone by that fast. This past week has been so crappy, and if you had asked me how I was doing this past week, then I would be like, terrible, like this sucks. I don't know, it's just like every day, every week is different for me, so it really just depends. Someone said we haven't been through one yet, but we suspect this fall/winter will be our first. Do you feel well informed? Like, how is info relayed to you about things? Is it all through him or what? My husband isn't always the best at relaying stuff and I don't want to constantly feel clueless. There's really not that much information to actually be relayed. Really the only thing that like you really want to know is like moving up to deployment, whenever they leave. Like, you obviously want to know when they're leaving, but that's kind of always last minute. Like, Andy didn't even actually get his orders or like his plane information until like, I think it was like 2 days prior, and our friend didn't even get it until a day prior. So, but we knew like around when. And then as far as like him getting there, that was just, it's all kind of up in the air, honestly. You don't really know, but there's really not much information to actually be relayed. Like, when they're on deployment, there's really not much going on. Like, they go to work and they come home and they sleep. Like, there's not that much going on. There's really not much that you would need to know. But Andy's pretty good about like telling me how his day went and like anything that he feels like he wants to tell me, or you know, if there's anything that I feel like I need to know, I just ask him and then he'll tell me. But we're able to talk because he has Wi-Fi, so I don't know. How often are we able to talk while he's deployed? So we're actually able to talk pretty much every day. We can talk my time in the morning and at night, which is like him going to bed and him getting up. Sometimes because I work and then I also have school and then he, you know, goes to the gym and stuff like that, sometimes it's only for like 30 minutes so we actually get to talk, or sometimes just like, hey, bye. Especially like when he's waking up, he's getting ready for work, so he can't just like sit on the phone. Like, he's getting ready, taking a shower, stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, okay, I love you, have a good day, bye. But like on his day off and stuff, he only gets 1 day off, so we can talk a decent amount of time. But honestly, we both kind of don't really want to just like sit on the phone. If I'm not doing anything or he's not doing anything, then yeah. But usually I'm out and about doing stuff. Like tonight I'm going out with my friend. But yeah, we get to talk a decent amount. He's also in the Air Force though, so I mean, their standard of living is a little bit better, so they have Wi-Fi and things like that. If they have Wi-Fi where they're going, you'll be fine. Somebody asked, why didn't you go home while Andy's deployed? Well, first of all, I don't really have a place that I call home. Like, I'm from Delaware, but all of my family has moved since then. So I don't have, my family was military, so I don't have just one place where I call home. I guess the place that I would go home would be my mom's house, just because I'm the closest with her. But I just chose not to go to her house, one, because she works and so does her husband, so I would just be there all day by myself. And like, I would have a room and stuff there, but I have the dogs and stuff, and it's just, I have my own house here. Like, this feels like home to me. Like, I feel like I would feel homesick there. Like, this, my house feels like home. Somebody said, how long is Andy in the military and will this be his last deployment? So Andy has been in for 4 years and he signed up for a 6-year contract. This hopefully will be his last deployment because he's planning to get out of the military. So he gets out in like 2 years. How long is Andy deployed for? He's deployed for, you all know I can't tell you that. Like, come on. How do you feel connected to your husband while he's deployed? Well, I mean, we FaceTime and stuff like that, but as far as like, sorry if you hear Jax barking, you know, it just is what it is. But yeah, FaceTime and stuff like that, and then he can text me sometimes if he has Wi-Fi. He doesn't really have Wi-Fi at work, so we can't really talk while he's at work, but then again, I'm asleep while he's at work anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. But as far as like staying connected, I write him letters and he'll write me letters, and then I'll send him stuff, and you know, it is what it is. You feel connected as much as you can through a phone. Do you think young couples getting married has a lot to do with the military? Not really sure what you're asking, but I guess you're saying like, would people still be getting married young if it wasn't for the military? I don't know. I feel like people get married when they're young because of the military. One, because you want to be together. A lot of people think that like you get married for the benefits, but I don't know why anybody would do that because the benefits really aren't that great. And people think that people in the military make like 6 figures a year, and they don't. I can promise you that much. You can definitely make as much as a military member makes outside of the military, even without a college degree, if you have at least some experience in some kind of field. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we got married young, yeah, because Andy was in the military. We probably wouldn't have gotten married as soon if he wasn't in the military. But I mean, if you're not ready, like, then you don't have to. Like, it's not like you're forced to. I know a lot of people that actually live together and they're not married, but the person's in the military. So it really just depends. In our situation, we just chose to. That's just, it felt right for us. But if it doesn't feel right for you, then obviously it's not the right choice. But I definitely don't. If you're getting married for the benefits, you're stupid. Just saying. Somebody said, what tips would you give someone whose boyfriend is stationed overseas? So Andy was technically stationed overseas unaccompanied in 2017 for a year. So I guess it's like kind of the same thing as a deployment with somebody that has Wi-Fi. Tips would just be like to do your own thing. Like, obviously keep them informed of what you're doing and like stay connected to them, but do your own thing, as in like stay busy, stay, you know, productive, still do, like, don't put your whole life on hold just because they're over there, especially since you said boyfriend, so I guess you guys aren't married. Then you wouldn't have kids or anything. So if you're going to school or working, like, just focus on you and, you know, still have your life, but, you know, keep them informed and try to still feel connected to them, I guess is the best thing that I could say. Communication is key regardless, but that's even when they're home too. So would you recommend living on or off base? It depends on where you're stationed. I would say overseas, probably on base, because I feel like that'd be a little bit weird to find a house overseas off base, but I don't know if that's an option everywhere. As far as Eglin, I would say on base, because this area is very expensive, so to live anywhere with the housing allowance that we get, you're not going to find anything that is even worth it. But yeah, we just chose to live on base. We actually lived off base when we first got here, and we loved our house but didn't like the area, and it was really far away. So it really just depends on the base. I would say if you feel like on-base housing is nice and it's worth the price of the BAH that you're getting, then yes. For us, this felt worth it, and the convenience is nice. We don't hate living on base. I don't really think it's any different. I do feel a lot safer as far as deployment. I feel like if your husband's gone a lot, then you either want to feel like you're in a safe place if you guys live off base, or just live on base because you'll feel safer. But yeah, I think it really just depends on where you're stationed. Is it hard not knowing what he's doing all the time? I guess this would mean while he's on deployment, obviously. No, not really. When he was in Turkey 2017, I was more like, I wanted to know what he was doing all the time, but I think this time I literally know what he's doing. Like, he goes to work and then he comes home or goes to his dorm, he goes to the gym, he goes to eat, and he goes and has like a few drinks. I mean, that's it. Like, we don't have each other's locations or anything like that because I don't know, I don't feel like I need to be checking up on him. I don't feel like he needs to be checking up on me. A lot of people say that they have it for safety reasons, but I think that that's a load of crap. I think that you use it to check in on them. But yeah, I don't really feel like I need to know what he's doing. It's nice to know, like, hey, I'm going to do this, or like if he's awake and I'm going to the store or something, I'm like, hey, I'm running to Walmart, or I'll just be like, I'm running to Walmart real quick, like I'll call you when I get back, or like I'm going to work or whatever. But we both have a routine to where we both kind of already know what we're doing. Are the neighbors on base nice? Do you know any of them? I don't really know a lot of people on base. Actually, I do know a lot of people on base because I babysit on base, so I know where like a lot of people live. My neighbor that I'm attached to, she's pretty nice. She watches my videos, so hi. But yeah, they're pretty nice. We don't really like talk that much because I don't want to like be all up in their business. I don't want them to feel like I'm like snooping on them or something, you know, so I don't really try to like be in their business, but like, I don't know, we message and stuff all the time, so it's fine. And then like people, I don't really talk to like people around me, like I'll wave and stuff if I'm out, but like I don't really know them, they don't know me. I kind of like to stay to myself as far as being on base, just because I don't want to be involved in drama and stuff like that. If you live on base, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just feel like, especially when Andy's home, he works on base, we live on base, like we try to stay private a little bit because we like to have that separation from the military as much as we possibly can, which is almost impossible. But yeah, there's definitely drama on base, but you just have to stay to yourself, I guess. Any tips on saving money in the military? Don't buy a brand new car. Don't have kids right away. I mean, if you do, great, but I don't know how people afford that. I don't really think that when you have a kid straight out of basic that you're gonna be financially stable, because they don't make that much straight out of basic. Yeah, I would just say don't buy stupid stuff. As far as like getting your house together, go to the Airman's Attic, go to like Goodwill, like stuff like that. It sounds stupid, but I honestly love going to Goodwill. Even if I had a lot of money, I would still go there. But yeah, just try to like DIY stuff. You don't have to buy everything right off the bat. As far as like just saving money altogether, like deployments, obviously just act like they're getting their normal pay, but save the rest. Me and Andy base all of our expenses and our bills off of his pay, so anything that I make is strictly extra money for savings or vacation or whatever. So I feel like that's great, and it takes a lot of pressure off me. So I don't feel like I have to work, especially since I'm in school full time, but I do because it gives me something to do and I like the extra money. So yeah, what is your take on other military spouses? You know, I do have some friends that are military spouses. Not every military spouse is like a dependa. So like, I don't know, some military spouses can be very negative and very mean, and you just have to not be in that. There's, you know, as far as Facebook goes, there's a spouses page, we have a neighborhood page, and then there's like uncensored pages and stuff, which is exactly what they sound like. Just don't even get on the uncensored page. It's literally all for drama. And if I've had any issues with any spouses, I just completely remove them from my life. Like, I will block somebody in a heartbeat. Like, I really don't care, because I don't want that in my life. I don't need that negative energy in my life. If I don't need it, I don't want it, so bye. But I haven't really had drama. There's some people that I can tell that I'm like, okay, I don't really want to associate with you, because, you know, there's some people that seem very immature, very petty. And the people that you see on the spouses page all the time that are causing drama and have nothing but negative things to say, you probably don't want to associate with them. So yeah, that's just my take. There's a lot of spouses who don't have anything better to do with their lives, so they just sit on social media all day, and they go, especially on base, they go around on base and point out the things that you do wrong, or things that are wrong, or if you're going 2 miles per hour over the speed limit, they post about it rather than calling security forces and actually filing a report that would actually do something. So that's kind of how I feel. How did you feel when your husband joined the military? Actually, I didn't know Andy before he joined the military. We met when he was already stationed at his first duty station, and he was already in for like a year and a half or something. So, in one of your previous videos, you mentioned setting goals while your husband was gone. What are some goals you've set? And what are some goals you've set? So yeah, I did say that I was gonna set some goals and stuff. Honestly, that's just like school, getting good grades in school, which I'm doing, thankfully. Saving money, which we've done. We've actually saved more than I thought we were going to in this short of time, because we're almost halfway there. But yeah, setting goals. I'm training the dogs a lot, and Daisy's actually doing really well. Jax is doing okay, but he needs a little bit more. Working out. I haven't really been working out as much as I wanted to, just because I've been so busy. That I know that's such a bad excuse, but I've been so busy with work and school, and I also babysit a crap ton, that I like overbook myself, so I like just don't have time. Plus the time that I would go to the gym is the time that I call Andy, so I really need to work on a schedule. I think I have to have my wisdom teeth out soon, so after that, then I think I'm going to get back into a routine. Yeah, and then what other goals did I set? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't really set like that many goals. I figured I would just like keep myself busy, and yeah. When are you guys gonna have a baby? Well, trust me, we both like want to have a family, but we're not gonna have a baby anytime soon. We're definitely not gonna have a baby while he's in the military, because he only has 2 years left anyways, and I want to finish school, and I'm very close to finishing school. And then the plan is for me to work and him to get out, and then he's gonna go back to school, so it probably wouldn't even be until he finished school and had his career established. So we're probably looking at a good like 6-7 years, which is fine with me. What is the hardest thing about your husband being gone? I don't think that there's one specific thing. I think it depends on the day, but I think just like feeling isolated, and like the loneliness, and like just not being able to talk to him or touch him or hug him or anything. I think that's just hard. Like, it's just the distance is just hard. I don't think I'm okay like taking care of the house and all that stuff like by myself. I'm fine doing things by myself. Like, I can put curtains up by myself. Like, it's okay. But I think just like the distance and just being apart from each other is hard. So yeah, that's all the questions that I had. I plan to do another one of these probably like closer to when he comes home, so maybe I'll have more advice, or if I get more subscribers, and maybe I'll get more questions and things like that. So yeah, hopefully that helped. If you guys have any more questions, just leave them down below or message me on Instagram. Make sure that you go to my Instagram and follow me over there, because I definitely post a lot more on there than I do on here. So that's where you'll see like day-to-day stuff, like live when it's actually happening. And there's a lot of things that I ask you guys, like these questions and stuff like that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. If you're going through a deployment, don't feel like you're by yourself. You can always message me and have somebody to talk to. I've had a few girls that have messaged me that are like, I feel like I know them, like, so it's kind of cool. So yeah, definitely don't be scared to message me or comment anything down below. So if you're going through a deployment, good luck, and I hope that this helped. So I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.